Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be kind of laid back. I thought since prom is coming up that I would kind of focus a lot of my attention towards doing makeup for a younger audience and even not just high school but even younger than that. It's been kind of fun to kind of play around with different styles that I haven't touched in a while. So I was going to start off this tutorial like full-faced, but I thought I would just kind of go through the motions because it is such an easy tutorial. This is going to be a look about how to achieve a nice flawless look when you're kind of inexperienced with makeup and also a little bit young for makeup. I wasn't really allowed to personally wear makeup until I kind of hit older middle school, almost high school age. I would always sneak it. I wasn't allowed to wear like a lot of full glam, obviously, because I was just in school. So I thought I'd do a tutorial for people that want to get into makeup who are a little bit younger, that wanted to do something nice with their face but weren't allowed to do too much. So it's going to be a look that's very minimal, very affordable. All these products are at a drugstore. There's not a lot of tools involved. There's only one brush and one tool actually for this entire look. Everything else is just easy application with hands and there's not too many products involved. So I'd like to see how to get a nice radiant natural look for my little younger audience, then please keep on watching. So even though you're young and your skin is probably really amazing right now, I do still want you guys to use a moisturizer. This is from NEUTROGENA and it has a little bit of sunscreen in it too, so it's good for your skin. And the younger that you start doing skincare and focusing on your skin, the better your skin is going to look later in life. I wish that I did a lot more with my skin when I was younger, just because I think it would have had a dramatic effect on, my socializing in high school, because I was just really insecure about my skin, and I still am to a certain extent, but I have made so many improvements just from following a nice little skincare routine. So you don't need to go crazy as a young person because your skin is probably beautiful, but if you do take a little bit extra time to make your skin a little bit better, then it's going to pay off when you get older. And because you're young and you don't care about anything, we're not going to use primer. It's not really important for you to have too many steps in your makeup routine. So I'm just going to go right ahead with this Maybelline Dream BB Pure. It's a BB cream. It has an 8-in-1 skin clearing perfector, so that not only is this going to be really good for your skin, it's also going to give you a little bit of coverage and even out your skin tone, because you don't really need something that's full coverage at such a young age, because once again your skin is pretty much flawless at a young age. And for this you don't really need a tool either. You could just apply it with your fingertips. I just recommend that you clean your hands and make sure that you're using soap in the bathroom. Please, many young people are not using good hygiene. So I'm just kind of pushing this into the skin, blending it a little bit, and just covering all the major areas. I know that was a good call for me when I got a little bit older, was how much my skin changed. And I'm still dealing with that today, but it's nothing that we have to be ashamed about. With this product, you're going to have some acne fighting agents and some redness reducing agents, and also filling in your pores, all to create a nice seamless look. And you could just drag the rest of the product down the neck. Just kind of bouncing that into my creases, just making sure that we're covering everything. And I'm sure I'm already doing this, but all the prices will be both on screen and also in the description box, where I will link all the products. And next up is a concealer, and I'm not going to go too crazy with this, but just to help with any discoloration on the under eyes, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal True Match concealer, and this is for the shades W1, 2, and 3 in their foundation range. And because this has a brush applicator, I'm literally just going to swipe it in the areas that need the most coverage. And then I'm just going to use my ring finger to blend it all out. Your ring finger it's going to be the softest finger that you can use to apply makeup with. So because it has such a light touch, it is perfect for the under eye because you're not pressing and tugging too hard, and it just creates a nice blend. Just helps to brighten up the under eye and make you look a little bit more awake, but it still has more of a natural finish, so it's not going to cover everything, but it is going to help. If you want a little bit more coverage, you could totally go for Maybelline Age Rewind. That is a nice drugstore concealer that has a little bit more coverage, but it's a little bit harder to work with, whereas this one is really liquidy and not as full coverage, and it has that paintbrush applicator, so it's a little bit easier to apply and then blend out without ruining the other makeup that you have on. Just using the same finger to blend out everything around my nose. For young women, as you get older, because of your pubescence, you will find that the area around your nose gets a little bit more red and more dry. I don't know why this specifically happens just to women. I'm not sure what the reason for it is, but it does happen to us. So you might experience a lot of redness under there, so if you want to cover it up, you can. So that's what we have so far, and I'm not going to set any of this because I feel like that's a little ridiculous. CoverGirl does have a nice setting powder, and so does Maybelline, and also there is the Coty Airspun powder too. I'll link all of that below if that's something that you're interested in, but as a young person, once again, you're not going to care about that too much. You just want to wear something that is going to make your skin look a little bit better, and you're not probably going to be worried about creases too much because you probably don't have any wrinkles yet. So throughout the day, if you find that it gets a little bit creasy, all you need to do is just take your finger again and blend it out, and that's a lot less work than in the morning taking it and putting some translucent powder on top of it. So I'm just going to leave the face as is, and then we're going to move on to the brows. You probably don't need to worry too much about your brows as a young person because you're possibly just letting them grow out and you're not going to care too much about making them look perfect. But if you do want to do a little bit something, then you could use a brow gel. Now, I'm using the Brow Tint from Ulta Beauty. There are also a lot of other brands that have like clear brow mascaras and stuff like that, and that just helps to tame all the brow hairs and push them up and make sure that you're not moving them around too much. So that's something that you want to use. I'll also link those down below. I think e.l.f. has one, and so does CoverGirl. This one is also very affordable and it has a tint to it, so I think that this is really accessible. And also Ulta Beauty has a bunch of other drugstore brands in there, so if you are in an Ulta store looking for some of these drugstore products, then you could easily find this as well, and it's also very affordable. I'm just going to rub that through the brow hairs. I'm not focused on making any kind of shape because you can't really do that with a brow gel, but also it isn't really necessary. This is just to kind of make sure that there's no product stuck in your brows anymore, just to darken them up a little bit and make them look a little bit more tamed. Because I know when I'm around young people, they seem to always have their brows all over the place, so you want to prevent that. Definitely make sure that you use a brow gel. It's definitely going to make you look a little bit more put together. Now that a lot of the products on our face have kind of dried down, it's a perfect time to go in with blush. Now I'm going to use the e.l.f. Blush Quad. This is a very versatile blush quad. It's only $6, so it's not breaking the bank too much. Literally an aisle next to it is the Target Up and Up Blush Brush, and this is the only real brush product that I'm going to be using today. So as long as you have one brush, you're set. You could set your under eye, wipe it off, do bronzer, wipe it off, do blush, wipe it off, do highlight, if you are a young person that's into all those other things. But if you just want a little bit more color to your face, then definitely pick this up at least to do blush. So today I'm just going to go in with a mixture of this color and this color. I'm just going to tap off my brush and kind of just focus that on the cheekbone. So again, this is just to add a little bit of color. We did try to cover up a lot of the redness already, so this is just to make everything look a little bit more natural and to give you that nice sweet flush. If you want to do something on the forehead, you can, but I'm just going to focus on the cheeks. For lips, you don't necessarily need to go out of your way to purchase a lipstick. I am just going to use a chapstick. This is actually an AQUAPHOR healing ointment, and it's not necessarily made for lips. AQUAPHOR does have a lip balm, but it's funny how a lot of people just use this for their lips, and I think it works a lot better. I know I was always picking at my lips, really destroying them like they kind of look right now. So if you just protect your lips and leave them the natural lip shade, it's going to make you look a little bit more natural, more put together, and you don't have to worry about reapplying it throughout the day, especially if you're in school. So I'm just doing that. I'm not doing any other lip color, and it just adds a nice little glossiness without going too crazy with it. So lastly, I'm just going to go in and put on some mascara. I'm going to use this e.l.f. Mechanical eyelash curler. If you're a little bit too afraid to use this, and don't feel like you have to, but I definitely think that this is an important tool to have just to get familiar with the mechanics of it and make sure that you can use it in the future when you have a larger makeup collection. What you want to do with this is just make sure that you place it on the ends of your eyelashes and not getting too close to your actual lid so that you don't pinch the skin. And then just make sure that you hold it in place and don't move it around too much. If you have to sneeze, take it off and then sneeze and then go back in. You don't want to have an accident. And also make sure that you use this before mascara and not after it, just to make sure that you don't tear out any lashes and that you don't smudge any makeup. And you're just going to give this a couple of tugs, and usually they say to do it for about 8 seconds. Then you just have a nice curl, and it's perfectly possible for you to close your eyes while you do this as well. Once you snip it on, then you could just close your eyes. If it's a little bit too uncomfortable for you, then you could just go ahead and do it. It's going to work exactly the same. If it makes you a little bit uncomfortable to see your eyes being closed off, you know, sometimes that could get a little bit too dramatic for some people, so don't be afraid, just take your time with it. And then I'm going to go in with this volume plumping mascara from e.l.f. as well. e.l.f. is one of the least expensive brands that you could get, so I definitely recommend going to that section of your local drugstore, because they'll have the most inexpensive options that work really well. And I'm just going to go at the base of my lashes and then pull it up. And then to add a little bit more volume, I swirl it around. I shake it from side to side. And it just adds a nice little bit of dimension to your lashes. Also, another tip is when you put it to the base of your lashes, instead of like swiping up, you could just blink into the lashes. You're a little bit nervous about possibly poking your eye, because it kind of just allows you to do natural movements without moving your brush too much by accident and then poking yourself out. So I remember when I first started doing mascara, I loved it, but I would constantly poke my eye, and it really was the most painful thing ever, and it would cause me to be late for school a lot. So, you know, just make sure that you're just being slow with it and careful about it. And I'm doing the bottom mascara, but you don't have to if you don't feel comfortable doing it. It doesn't really add too much of a new effect to your look. It just kind of rounds out the whole eye, but it's not really necessary. Okay, and that is my very quick finished look for this natural makeup for my young audience. Hope you guys enjoyed this look. Learned a couple of things. If you are young and a little inexperienced with makeup and you want to get more into it, I hope I also gave you a bunch of good options for purchase, because I know that you guys have tiny little pockets. So if you did enjoy this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell if you want to know when my videos go up, because my videos kind of don't have a set schedule yet. And also follow me on all my other social media accounts if you are interested and you have a parent's permission. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye!